against the Jews and doing all kinds of things so the Jews weren't able to have jobs.
Right.
And this was getting worse. There was getting closer to war, violence, using the young people to be involved in war. Well, the German people didn't want to call Hitler on that fully.
Oh.
And the more power he got in the Gestapo, the harder it was to call people on that.
Right.
So you ended up with a situation where the Nazis were in control and everybody had to go along with it. And we're kind of in the same
like
spot.
It's going right now.
You know, I mean, the entertainers are in control. I mean, why are we putting up with some of the lyrics in music?
The lyrics are just,
you know, why are we doing that?
horrible.
And
for
why
our kids to hear.
Why is a parent saying, I don't like what's on TV, but it's all I've got, so I guess I'll just watch it?
Yes,
you know,
no, we need
I mean,
to change it.
we have to, but here's our problem. We're not organized as parents.
No,
we're single people in our own home. Like, what can I do? What difference can I make? You know? So everybody in that position is like, well, I guess I won't do much of anything, you know? And this, what we're talking about here, is going to take a major courageous step for us to save our kids, because they're being drawn right into it,
So what do you think we should do? Don't you have a parent organization going?
Well, we are, you know, I've written some books now for parents and grandparents.
That's actually, you need to tell me about that.
Yep. And what I've discovered with those books is, first of all, I don't think we parents and grandparents understand what's going on. I don't think we're looking at our kids and saying, my kids are vulnerable, how can I help them be less vulnerable?
Right.
My kids don't know what traps they can get in, how can I share with them?
Tell them.
First of all, what you've done, you know, tell them, this is where something happened in my life. Something went on with me that, you know, I got conned, I got scammed.
Yep.
I met some people, I thought they were okay. You know, we surely need to be telling our kids those kind of stories.
We need to.
And help them see that there's evil in the world.
Oh, God.
There's stuff going on. I mean, there's things going on right in our own communities. Like in Minnesota, 1 out of 3 girls are going to be molested or raped by the time she's 18.
That's right. That's in the statistics.
We need to be talking, hey, in our little community, can this happen in our little spot?
Females are typically sold for the purpose of sex. Domestic victims report being forced to service as many as 10 men per day on an average.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. And
what in the God's name is this a crazy thing? 85% of victims of rape, molestation before the age of 18.
Yeah.
They're either raped or molested.
These are people that are now in prostitution.
This is now's people. This is new statistics right now. Yeah. This is today. And then 95% use drugs, alcohol to numb the pain.
Mm-hmm.
83% are victims of assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
That's scary. 83%.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's scary.
It is. I mean, and 57% have been kidnapped at some point.
Hmm. Now you're talking about people who have been exploited, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, 100% are someone's daughters, sisters, and our mothers.
Exactly.
So.
Everyone is somebody's daughter.
Everybody is. Yeah. We all have moms.
Yeah.
We all were sisters and brothers and whatever. We're all family people. And these things are going on in our country. It's just, it's America. It's not the other countries.
Yeah.
Trafficking is from, if I take this girl, or I'm a guy and I take this girl from Minneapolis, Minnesota, over to Indiana, to put her in a prostitution house. That is trafficking.
Yeah.
That's what I told Vanetta that runs Breaking Free.
Vanita.
I said, Vanita, I said, that is trafficking. It doesn't have to be from, UK to the United States or UK to another country.
Yeah.
It's right here in America. That's what's going on, because I was taken from California to Nevada.
Yeah, that was trafficking.
Anytime that somebody takes you away from your security blanket, which is your mom, your dad, your brother, your sisters, your aunts, uncles, as soon as they take you away from that, they've got you.
Right.
They've got you listening. These guys they're listening. You listen to them because now you're no longer familiar with where you are.
Right.
So you go where they put you. You go where they tell you to go. You do what they tell you to do because now you're in their power. They've got you down the road, and you're gone. And there's no getting a hold of your parents, and God only knows where they'll take you next. Mm-hmm. So be careful.
That's the same as the cults. The brain
cults,
control, because isolation. You isolate people.
Isolate them.
Keep them away from their support group.
That's exactly what they do. That's what happened to your daughter, huh?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened to her.
Yeah. And, it's, once you're caught in that trap and you're being used, all kinds of new things start to develop for that person.
Oh, yeah. They become a different person.
Yeah. And it's, you've got all kinds of new dynamics. How is she going to be accepted in the family? How does she feel about herself coming back?
She feels terrible.
I've had, somebody told me this, and I think this is true, that if a girl like this comes back home, and I've experienced this in several different ways, it's like the walls of the house are saying, you shouldn't be here anymore. You don't belong here. You don't deserve to be here.
Well, that's how they feel.
That's how they feel.
That's how you feel.
And so it takes.
You feel dirty. You feel ashamed. You feel that you haven't been, a God loving person. Mm-hmm. And that's why they feel so lonely too. You feel lonely. That's why they stay with those abusers, because they'll feel so lonely going back to the house.
Yeah. I mean,
so
if
the parents need to start realizing that they need to talk to them and say, honey, it's okay. Come home.
Well,
we're here for you.
Yep. And that's going to be a long road. That's what I found. It's not. It's not like the parents can just say that and that's going to be solve everything.
It's going to be daily.
It's going to be years, maybe, of staying with them. That's very important for anybody who is going through this. That the parents and the family stays with them and recognizes the handicap that they're working with.
Amen.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I got that.
Yeah.
Had it for years. But I'm sure your daughter has that too, post-traumatic stress disorder.
She's got different issues like that, and it makes it hard. And one of the things the taxpayer doesn't realize is that in many cases, for somebody like this coming out of the business, it's costing the taxpayer welfare money. It's costing them medical expenses.
That's true too.
It's I've had one woman tell me, just indirectly from what she experienced, it was $100,000 worth of medical expenses.
Oh, definitely.
And
of course, definitely.
Easy. So this is not a freebie for the rest of the public. It's not like we can sit back and say,
oh yeah, that's not my daughter, or that's not my kid. It's somebody else's.
And somebody else is paying for it. No,
all of us are paying for
it. We're paying for it.
Everybody pays for it.
It's I called a professor at the University of Minnesota. He had written about cigarettes, and he said, from his experience, from his survey of things, it was like $2.57 spent on medical expense from people for every pack of cigarettes that people smoke. Well, see, we don't look at it that way.
No, I never looked at it that way either, but that's really a way to look at it.
Yeah, it's something.
It's a way to really look at it.
Right.
That's devastating.
So it goes back to, man, all the anguish I can save myself from if I can be a good person in preparing my kid for this is what's out there.
Yeah, could you
and
just make sure if you see that to run the other way?
Yeah.
Could you just think about that before you get in there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping we can do.
A person has to be pretty strong. And kids, that's why people prey on kids, you know.
That's right, exactly why they do, because they're young and vulnerable. But if you, as a father, and your wife, as a mother, would have said to them, to her, or to your kid, if you would have known, but you didn't know until this happened to your daughter. You didn't know anything about prostitution or anything about that kind of life, did you? You never thought about it as a pastor of the church or anything. You never thought about that, did you?
No.
Okay, that's why we need to have these people think about it now.
Exactly.
When they got the kids that are 10, 12 years old, start talking to them when they're 10. I started talking to my grandsons when they were 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get them in the car, taking them to the circus or whatever, and I'd be talking to them a mile a minute.
Yeah, no.
Because I got their attention. They're in the car. I'm driving. Hey, you have to listen, whether you take it in or not.
And if those kids have any indication of some issues that are in their lives, you know, ADD, those need to be dealt with as early as possible.
As early as.
Don't wait till like their child is 17, 18, because
they're
not going to want to deal with that then.
No.
You know, the other side of is a lot of boys are starting to think, you know, that hey, no problem. I can have sex with so-and-so and so-and-so.
Oh, yeah.
They don't realize that they're wounding the woman and wounding themselves. You know, I mean, they can easily become. We had a story out of Hamlin University right here in the Twin Cities. Is there some problem?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We're good.
Anyway, I heard this story at Hamlin. You know, they used to have a woman over there that ran a brothel near Hamlin University, and she, this boy, was going to Hamlin, and he found out that this brothel was there.
Oh boy!
So every month, he would collect his money and go over to this brothel.
Oh my God!
And he got to a point where he didn't have any money. He had to keep saving his money. He had to miss meals even.
Oh my God!
In order to do this. Well, finally one day, this girl that he had just had sex with said to him, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Because you're spending this money. I mean, first of all, they're college girls, you know, and you're coming over here spending money." She couldn't figure it out. Well, that kind of turned something on in that young guy's head.
Thank God.
And I met him later on.
Did you?
Yeah.
He got straightened out?
He got straightened out.
Good.
And it was like he couldn't believe what he had been doing. You know?
He didn't know at the time.
He didn't know.
You know, he didn't. He just thought, oh, this is a place where I could go.
I've authored 2 books. They're about parents and grandparents and what we can do if we're willing to face the situation that our kids are dealing with. They're not just about the sex industry, but the title of the first book is Parents Arise, Grandparents Arise, 10 Challenges to Overcome to Safeguard Our Children. And the second book is Actions to Take, 10 Actions to Take to Safeguard.
I want to talk to you some more.
Yeah.
Can you come back another time?
We could possibly come back. I could come back another time.
Could you?
Yeah.
Don't let your kids leave the house without talking to them. Start talking to the kids, telling them what's out there, telling them to be, you know, aware. If a guy tells you go to bed for money, run the other way. Don't let yourself be vulnerable to this type of life. And just start watching your kids more.
Mm-hmm.
And your grandparents start speaking up and getting excited about this. This is really harming all of our country here. Our kids are getting destroyed. Women are being killed. This is very, very, very serious. So take it serious and let's do something about it. That's from Janie. And thank you for listening. And we have more for later.
Great.
Thank you, Al.
Good to be with you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
God bless
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
My conscience bed.